Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is a tutorial session of Gateways 21. And we will have today in this session, the next tutorial. The title is Aid to Data. This stands for Digital Archiving and Transform Analytics, Advanced Integral Digitalization via Machine Learning Automata. Our presenters are Clara Hall and Sheldon Liang. Welcome and go ahead.
Thank you for introducing us. This topic sounds like a very highly intelligent, but that is something like we say, KISS. Keep it simple, right? That's kind of a saying. So we are going to present some great idea. Everybody could be a great developer or user. So that is the basic idea. Now, Clara, would you please bring out the video we recorded in advance? Because we had a panel presentation. Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon. We are so excited to present at the Science Gateways Community Institute. Our topic is about aid to data, a tutorial. That means an advanced integral digitalization to digital archiving and transformed analytics. We're from Liang College, located in Jackson, Tennessee. Before we get started, I want to say maybe we have some questions in our mind. That was something we find a solution to give answers. So for instance, the first one, maybe you have the similar questions. How difficult is it to express user interface design? The current situation may be usually hard to do user design, right? But our answer would be this: user interface design with little coding. That means much easier. The second question: how easy is it to engage in hybrid learning? I adapted a saying, it is easier said than done. But here we say, it is easier escaped than engaged. Sounds beautiful, right? Our answer is this: hands-on interactivity and spontaneity. That means give you more freedom to be more interactive, active to do the job. So you feel more engaged with whatever you are in the context. The third question sounds like a big question: how easy it is to explore in breadth and depth. You may be curious. We never thought about it. We just change a web page, look at it, change another one, back and forth. But here, this would be the traditional issues we say, like a chasing after web pages. But our solution is user-centric experience. Via, we say CIA, that's kind of framework. So we are going to disclose to you. So our aim to advance integral digitalization, that's for the good purpose. Before getting into the content, I want to introduce a little bit about the theoretical foundations about our solution. We say computational thinking includes 4 parts. If you have a huge problem to solve, you do decomposition to break down to smaller pieces. That is going to be easier to handle or to process. Decomposition. The second one, you have something, you break down some parts. So you need to figure out some common features or something. Usually we have to apply abstraction, right? Conceptually, abstraction. That can be repeated to use some idea like that. The third one, sometimes we want to have one solution to solve a similar or family of problems. We call that kind of similarity to help us to recognize some patterns for reuse. So the last part is very important, algorithms. That means we are going to use computational solutions to fulfill or implement the solution. So here, when we talk about aid to data via computational thinking, the first one, I would like to introduce you to advanced framework of digital archiving. CIA for user-centric experience with little coding. So two parts applied from computational thinking. Number one, decomposition. That's why we need a framework. Number two, abstraction. They find some general concept to use. The second part, integral data for machine learning. You know, we hate to do a single trivial work. Computer is so stupid sometimes. We human beings, we're proud of it. So we want to use computer to do automation for us. So here, integral data, why we mention integrity? If the data is not integral, there's no way to do a perfect automation, right? So we say pattern recognition for universal interface. Here I use this exclamation mark in programming. That means no coding. Are you there with me? So the last one also very important. We have some algorithm. Algorithm usually means a sequential steps for you to do the job, computationally or humanly. So here we say digitalization for transformed analytics. ITOP means instant texting, not HTML, hiding, coding, sound, only texting. Everybody can do the job. And online publishing, instant. So we apply those 4 parts to support our aid to data. Now, I'm going to ask Clara to share something about user-centric experience. Your turn, go ahead.
Yeah, so another unique part of this platform is the emphasis on user-centric experiences through the way data is displayed and constructed. So in a lot of websites nowadays, when you are trying to navigate through the site, you're most likely going to be clicking on links that open different tabs, and those tabs can even create additional tabs, and then you just have this kind of maze of tabs that you're trying to figure out where you were, where the home page is, and really it takes away from the overall experience. As a matter of fact, there's been research from many articles, one of which basically laid out the fact that, you know, tabbed browsing adds a whole nother level of complexity to the web browser interface. And really, this is just another necessary task that distracts users from the ultimate goal. So this is really important when we're looking at education and, you know, when students are trying to use websites or platforms to learn, the fact that different tabs can create even more confusion can result in just a lot more unclarity in the concepts. So rather than that, this platform really pulls them in, lets them focus on one thing and keeps them there. So that's where we can dive into the actual platform. So the way the layout is organized is to mimic a C, and that is why it's called the CI, to user-centric experience via the CIA triad. So I will just go and break it down. The first aspect of the screen is the contextual expression. So this is the tab at the top that has basically a brief of everything that will be within that module. And this is really representative of how to organize the complexity of content management with as little coding as possible. So if you can see just in the side visual, whenever a user clicks on that bar, there's a pop-up that expands and gives it more context for whatever was within that first tab. exactly, you can see the transition. There's also interactive engagement. So the interactivity is fulfilled to be actionable at any point that is necessary. And this really represents a means of how to deliver the content without having to swap between pages. So with this, the user is able to see kind of all the different content that's available. And they're also given the freedom to navigate between modules, between content, and it really allows for a more customized experience. And then finally, accessible exploration. So at the lower end of the pages, there's a bar that represents how to archive content biographically, as well as the coursework collectively. So instead of going from page to page, trying to navigate, this is all stored in a chronological area in a very refined section of the page. And this is also expandable, so it just again reiterates how the platform is really able to keep users within the context of what they're trying to learn, within the context of what they're trying to navigate, while allowing them to put all the data and information and content that they want.
Okay, now we come to university interface via machine learning automaton. When we talk about machine learning, automaton sounds like a big word. Actually, that's a big intelligence. Human being can make the computer more smarter or more intelligent. So usually with a machine learning automaton involves four following aspects. You can see the whole picture. We have an iPad. But iPad is not necessarily means Apple's iPad, but that means informative, personal assistant device. This could be tablet, laptop, cell phone, smartphone, iPad itself. So this means the device the user is going to use. Then when you click on or operate on it, there is an idea behind, supported the automation. We call that information-driven elastic automation. Elect means very flexibly, a little bit vivid, that kind of idea. Elastic, not a stiff one. So what kind of things support this idea to be presented on the iPad? iData. That means integral data or digital archiving and transformed analytics. So here, iData is foundational stuff with a lot of intelligence integrated to support a lot of great stuff. But the last one is the most important ones toward end users. That's iTop. That means instant texting and online publishing. We emphasize instant texting means most users can use it by typing something in or texting something. You don't have to understand we are using HTML or JavaScript. Forget about those things. Instant texting, just like to type something in, then it should be working. But back end is machine learning automaton. So now it's going to be Dr. McCarthy, Elijah McCarthy's turn. So would you please introduce something about this?
Yes, so just like Dr. Liang just mentioned, so machine learning makes a lot of complicated things look a lot easier. So complicated problems, computationally intensive problems can just be broken down to very simple ones that can be solved in a flip of a second or a few minutes just by virtue of using machine learning algorithms or models. Now, in this context, if we have, let's say you have a database that has data that is stored in a remote server. Now, that data can be put into specific patterns and stored in that database. Now, that data can be passed through some automation where, and in this particular case, we are referring to that as the machine learning automation or automating. It can be passed, the data can be passed through some automation or automating, and then displayed on to the user. It can be through an iPad, Okay, here in an iPad, basically use that to signify like a laptop or a computer or a cell phone. So you have data stored in a remote server. Before that data gets outputted or displayed on the user's end, on a cell phone or on an iPad, it goes through some automation. And that automation basically helps to display it so that the user can understand. Now, within that, we can have iTalk. This iTalk, which is our main focus here, is based off a machine learning automaton. Now, that takes in a pattern, passes that that follows a pattern that goes through a machine learning automation or automaton. Now you have the user basically have to put in some kind of input that follows a specific pattern. It passes through a machine learning automaton and is displayed on the iPad for you. So instantly you test something, it passes through a machine learner, which is a machine learning automaton, and then the results displayed instantly for you. So on the next slide over here, we can see that it says, okay, there is the icon over here, the machine, the iTap icon, that's the arm that is writing. You click on that, it asks you to put in something. It asks you to test, to type something. Like over here, it says, Sheldon, you are verified to go iTap. And once you click on go, just by virtue of you putting in the input, it passes through a machine learner, a machine learning automation, and then it comes up with an instant output for you that is published. Okay. Now on the next slide, what happens behind you seeing the display on your iPad or on your screen is a machine learner. Okay, it's a pattern that goes through a machine learning automaton. Now, just like in every program you would have to initialize some variables. There's going to be loops, then there's going to be the end of the program. That's exactly what happens through the machine learning automaton. But in this particular case, we are just dealing with patterns. So the pattern can just take a key, have specific values that would be like within the loop where there will be an iteration, and then there is the end. So on the next slide, we'll see here we have MID1, that is a key. Associated to that key, we have best education and some other variables. So we have the key, we have the variables. Now the variables through iTap using the machine learning automaton are displayed, like over here, we see the best education on the far right, the very first thing on the top. Then we see the next value, which is learning module, come up on the far right as well. And then we see the educational matter come up on the far right as well. So these are values are passed to the machine learner and then all the machine learning automaton, and then they are displayed for you instantly or published for you instantly. And so based off a key, you have values associated, and these are displayed on the iPad for you.
Awesome, thank you very much. Now we can see we started to open our CI. That means the contextual, interactive, and accessibility through the data to support data transformation. So you may have some questions, and we are happy to hear your question. We would like to give you some answers or explore. Maybe most likely you may be more interested. We are going to demo how does that CIA triad framework looks like, and how the machine learning, something like that. Tell me how many minutes? Now, no worries, we'll continue. So here is the question section. We may expect you to ask some questions, or based on questions, we can give you an answer, or most likely we can do some demo. You will see it very visual, and also it's very vivid for you to follow with us. Now, I'm going to get out of here. I go into here, you see this, we actually in the context. So this part, we have a lot of presentations. We call this CI, the core, with a lot of things. Let's say you want to cheer up with some great singing, you can hear it. This is from Harvard. Let's listen for 30 seconds. See the video playing in the context. You did not go nowhere. You stay here, or you can choose another thing to play. So when we're talking multimedia, that includes videos or slides or something like that. So we have a lot of things. So you can see when you finish, no worries, don't need to worry too much about how you get that back. Just close the eye. That's the CI, the core, the center of the CI. On the top, we call this is kind of, we say CIA top frame, right? This is going to give you a browsing in depth and breadth. What I mean, see, we have the breadth. Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aspects. You can swap to see them, right? This means in the breadth. And also every bar like this, you can open up, go to the depth. Are you there with me? So go to the depth, see, we have great Clara Hall, we have Patricia, we have McCarthy, Elijah. So you can open them up, that's real. But this one not finished yet, but mine is real too. See? So this is just one piece of cake. You can get this job done as a new CIA framework. So this is when you finish, come out. Then you're going to try another one, let's say interactability. So here, you lay out a lot of things. Those are real exercise, but here is a sample, right? How you do something. Everything is active. You can see this is how vivid, but here is a sample. So you can see this part and also this part. You see, you can go in more depth. And here, this is actually an essay. We are going to have an exercise for this part. And see, you open up this, we call it kind of code sheet, allows you to finish step by step. And each step is going to prioritize, ask you to focus on one piece of code. That kind of idea. But this code is instant texting message, not exact code. When you finish, you can submit, or you just get out of here. Okay, so here, when you finish this part, this is for you to have summarized understanding in depth and breadth, which means you can spontaneously explore anything you are interested in. When you finish, get out of here. Then this bar with a lot of things, you can play video. Usually, if you think about like prioritize something, this is video. So this video is about computational thinking, resolving some giant problems. If you have a chance, you can take a look at this. So this is that, and also our presentation here, Word doc, and also we have some radio stations. Actually, this from Liang College Radio. Not very many people try it, but you can play it. Dancing, singing, right? So you can hear this real. You can put this as a background music. You can still continue to explore. You hear it? I know that's too loud. I got it back. Then shut down. See, this multitasking allows you to have more fun, experience something, exploring something, and also while listening to something you really like. It's not like chasing after web pages, another one, you get lost. Okay, here, this actually, we say, this is something, we have a lot of things, I'll put it here as a folder for you to focus on sometimes, see? But this is similar to that kind of context, right? We have a trial, we will try this later. And also those modules are openable. They have the similar thing, but just this is sequentially for your learning process or learning progress. The other one for you spontaneously to explore something you may be interested in. So give you freedom to explore or give you the very regular sequential process for you to continue. That's kind of idea. So when you finish, see, we have something weekly basis, right? You can lay out some content. So you see, those learning modules is very helpful. So here, I would amaze you. I already made a lot of real or fake users. So if you inform me before this, you're supposed to find yourself with your name. So you can directly create this in 1 minute. Let me show you. So for instance, I created this and we have Dr. McCoffee. So I'm going to show you how you do instant iTalk. So you look at here, this is empty. But you can start from here right away. So this is his image, right? Go to instant iTalk. You just need to import a course bio. Sounds like you are an instructor or a professor. You lay out a courseware in a CIA triad framework. There you go. This pop-ups, to be honest, is unnecessary, but this keep you informed on the right track. Then you see automation is there. Actually, you can do a lot of customized thing, but usually you can see something just like a text message. You have something here, see, picture, and what you are going to bring out, integrate something. So then when you're done, upload. So you will see it right away. This would takes maybe months, maybe still cannot get a job done like this perfectly. So here just kind of pop out because you imported something, then something a little bit tiny conflict, but this just pop out. You have the same key or something, but it's okay. The new one replaced the old one. So now, look at here. You are going to see Dr. McCoffee is here. This is similar like the CIA. You can open this up, but we reuse the data. Actually, in the future, we can make more sense like computer science, physics, math, different things. You can have different, these kind of things, right? Then also we have different modules. With the best educational module, open it up. You haven't finished yet. Okay, that's the next step. And also you can play some videos right away here. Actually, this is me. Hello, everyone. My name looks neat, right? Thank you. So you can see, and also if you have some students, this usually beneath here. You can bring this out. So this is Dr. McCoffee. You can run it separately. See, this makes me zoom in to only focus on that, not affect it in the context. So this more like you are going to present something. And also you can play some slideshow with your students. If student has some account on yours, so you can see students showing up, or you can have some music. So you can see this is from one of my students at her pageant show. So I collect this, and you can do this in a very brief way. You just input a link or upload something, then everything goes there. So you can see this is also, you have an eye to look into. This is different. See, this is from my teaching on Blackboard Collaborative. This is also real. Look at how I teach. Oh, face to face, wearing the mask. But that's real, right? But unfortunately, this one I forgot to unmute. Later on, I opened. So when you finish up, shut it down, see? So this is how convenient. So we have Dr. McCoffee done this way. So everybody, later on, we're going to have a breakout room, and then we could go from here. So I will send out a link. Only one link, you could get everything. And you can choose one of the persons here I laid out. If you open a person, remember this Brian OB, open. If no, so you're going to do instant texting and online publishing or iTalk from here. That's pretty much beautiful, right? So also I would like to show you one more thing. Do an exercise. let's say we have McCoffee down. So here we lay out some important exercise. So for instance, here we have a collaboration. You can have somebody joining you right away to do the job. So everybody is going to pick up a slide with your name. So for instance, this is my presentation. I explain, then this is my answer, but usually I did it last. Other students did their job. You can see their names. They pick up a name. Usually we have more than needed, right? Now with this ready, we are so happy to see when finished, we can present it right away. So we use this to review our students' collaborative coursework. So this is more engaging and more interesting to our students, but in the simplest, easiest way, right? So I would say this a lot. And another one, this is kind of an essay. You can see it. The coding is kind of key and value. Let me go a couple of steps. Okay, so you can see this is another exercise, but usually you can get some manual to open this up to see, but apparently here we use this repeated, but if we have a real value manual, you can study on it, then you can do the exercise. So with every single exercise, you have a manual to review, or you can go hands-on by watching the video. We usually take recording, right? That's pretty much, and also you can submit your work right away from here. Let's say you already finished the job, you can submit your work. Sometimes you need to submit so-called code, but not traditional ones. You say, but this is just kind of basic text. When you finish upload, then you can look at your work. See, you have final. All the submissions would be like this. These are all real. And so you can see, so this is very convenient. You have some exercise prioritized for students to finish up, then they can see their work to submit here right away. That's pretty much. Thank you so much, very much. I believe if you are very interested, I believe you are. So we're going to have a breakout room, and our team members is going to guide you through. And usually you just need to import a CIA kind of framework, then we can go from there. And also we have different templates like church or like a personal profile or something. So we have simple ones, we have more complex ones, but everything is there. So thank you very much for your attention. Now for your attempting to try something. Thank you. Okay, thank you. To be honest with you, this teaching is very hybrid and very encouraging, engaging. With all my courses I haven't taught, I have been taught over the past 2 years during pandemic. You know, our students, basically speaking, so they very at the beginning are struggling, but when they really into it, they enjoy it because these make them like a webmaster. So now I'm going to ask Clara to help me to show how we started, and we have time, right? If you like, we can have breakout rooms, or we can ask somebody to be the volunteer. Also, we can watch. So this is very, I would say, very convenient to have some try. And also when you try, you feel more confident to do more. And this kind of things, okay? So when we talk about machine learning, automaton, that sounds like very intelligent thing. But actually, when you do the job, you just trust it. That's the idea. So I'm going to ask Clara to show how to create somebody, a profile for a person without a body, because we expect to have some register, and then we can go from there. But now we are going to use, okay. So you see this is kind of CI platform, no, CI framework. You can open this, here we have let's say we have participants included here, or your class, something like that. Now you open it up. So we have our teams all on. So Clara, have you finished? If you haven't, we can start from you. Open your face.
I have not finished, so we can.
Okay, beautiful. So here, let me put this way. Usually, if you haven't, this sounds like an account we created for you within less than 30 seconds, sorry, because of machine learning. But now, usually when you see your account on, let's say Clara is on, so you click on the face, I like to say on the image. See, this is blank because there's no body, right? No separate body to under your account. But this already, we already have initial, we have a kind of stub for your database. So now you're going to do ITOP, which means instant texting and online publishing. So now do you see the animated pen on the right side? Yes, open that up. That allows you to do kind of beautiful web publishing right away. Now you say go. Usually this is supposed to be used as kind of password, but now we put it in public temporarily, right? So you see, if you don't mind, you are going to upload. You already have a default body upload, please. The other one, upload, before you import, upload. Do you see the upload big blue? The other one. Yes, upload. So you don't need to do nothing. This already default. Yeah, upload it. Please do it. So we will say from blank to a default web page. So now you can click on the face again. You see, you already have something. Just hello, sounds like hello world, right? So usually in teaching programming, we just start with what? Hello world. But this does not make much sense. Oh, pardon me. So now you can go again. Then you are going to import something well prepared. Depends on what is the purpose you're going to build, right? You can click on the template, but don't choose. We say the first one, we have the profile. Usually that's designed for students. Ask them to submit their work, to work on like a coursework bench. The second one is something we have some exploration like we say networking programming. We have client side, back end client and front end, back end programming stuff. We have that. You can import, you can try it. Just write pure coding in Python, in PHP, in JavaScript, those kind of things. That's for my teaching. So also we have an exercise like church stuff, right? Church sounds like how you start a church web page. But now we are going to use a course bio to import. You will see this is based on CRA triad framework. Now go ahead and import it. It's coming up. So actually, you can do some customized change, but most likely you already have a framework. Now you can upload it right now. Then you can see the whole bunch of things all laid out for you. Yeah, please do upload. So now this, because we have some duplicates, it's okay, just a reminder. Nothing is wrong. Now open, see, bang, 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 everything is there. So here we have the CI framework. So this is very good. We've been used to support different teaching, different classes, not only computer science. So the same thing, you can open this folder. Yeah, you will see, we say this allows you to explore or browse in breadth. So let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories, right? So you allow them to go in, and the average thing, you can continue to go in more depth. Now let's try this. You see, we have context laid out. You can submit it right away. So when you're done, you just click close it. So you don't need to worry about I got something lost. No, everything there. And also, if you are teaching a class, this I allows you to present always on the top the most recent videos, and then the old ones just getting under, right? That's kind of idea. So this list actually, anything you need to input is kind of with a value and a key. Key and value. Key means you need to give an ID and then some value. So that's pretty much. So yeah, maybe, yeah, this is real, I'm teaching. And now, do you have any questions, by the way? Or maybe we can send a link for you to try a little bit afterwards. So if you want to look at a little bit, maybe let's finish up. We have 3 hands-on exercise. Then maybe some of you would like to try a little bit, just like a piece of cake, not too sweet. Okay, now let's try the first thing, LEAP, right? That is kind of collaborative coursework, a kind of course workbench for all the students to be involved, engaging with it. So you can see here, usually you click on the left side. That's the slides panel, right? Allows you to choose. Usually you can directly do the presentation. And also after that, you can try, can you find yourself? Clara, I already laid out. So see, usually I assign a student, right? With the slide and ask them to do something, how you understand the composition or computer is made up. So now, would you try this? Would you please drag the first image to, within the computer? This is adder. You know, computer can only do addition, right? Electronically. Then you have subtractor. So drag that to the right. Yeah, see, they're connected. So you can, now you drag the multiplier. Yeah, no worries. That line automatically adjustable. So you can see, so here actually illustrate the other one, divider. So you can see those arrow lines shows you the roadmap, how the computer is created, only focus on electronic adder, right? With a full adder or half adder, whatever. But usually a subtractor, there's no subtractor, but usually we do complements, right? So that's why we have a conversion from the subtraction to the addition. And also with the multiplier, actually we don't need that. We only need a multiple n times of addition and also divider. So you can see, this means your understanding if you can finish. So yeah, everybody do their work. When we finish, now you can shut this down, scroll back up. So this is, yeah, you can have some try, find a blank name without a name, an X means allows you to fill your name in. You can try this, but later on, if we have time, I believe we have time. So you can find something, yeah, you can scroll down, see, find a name with X. So this X means you can input your name, you can have a try. So this is very convenient, very engaging, and you can put something more intelligent or high level question or simple, it doesn't matter. We just say we are focusing on engagement. And also when you finish, close this, you are going to present right away, click on, yeah, open again, sorry, yeah. So you can click, oh yeah, you click on the drive, that is going to do the show. Yes, close this down, yes. So this directly already published simultaneously, so you can see how it works, and the students' submission. So sometimes they feel, oh, they can compare, they can learn from each other, right? So usually I say, usually in computer science or in nowadays, we have 3 parties: instructors like me, or students, or learners, or teachers, whatever, but there's another one, computer, triangle. So usually in front of computers, don't be shy, don't be emotionally, you know what I mean? You just do the job. Computer only do the right thing based on your right instruction. So that's kind of idea. So you can see here, so we can review students' work. Actually, this counts as part of the submission. Yeah, now the other one is more amazingly beautifully. Now you can close this one. We're going to try one more thing. Actually, I'm teaching a kind of general education course on the college-wide basis. Everybody's supposed to take the class, but we'll make it as more like a digitally, so that make our students more interested in it. Okay, now let's try the first thing, how you are going to document something, right? Usually we say we use Word, but here, let's try this. You got started with the web publishing, then Word is something already there. Now go ahead and open the second one, the essay on trial. it is very hard for asking at least my students to write something from Liang College. I'm not implying anything. I just want to say a little bit hard because they want you to give them very clear instruction. But I'm not teaching you English writing, right? I teach you how to document things. So usually I say, I made an acronym, ask you to start a word, right? With extended to a paragraph. Then we will see the effect, the looking, appearance. I say, I don't see your content. Then they got it. So here is one of very smart courseware. We call it code sheet. This can support programming, even writing, whatever kind of things. But let's go here. So you can see that this may be because of the web thing. Now you can shut down again because usually, ideally, only one step allows you to work on. Then the other will automatically block out. But here maybe today, sometimes if you're suffering something, timely thing. But anyways, we go from here. So you open the first one. So this is testing. Don't be afraid of when you're talking about it, you heard about testing. Uh-oh. Apparently her computer has some issue. Maybe, she is presenting. Now maybe you can stop that. Let me to present. Hopefully, this is kind of stuck. It should be working. Nothing is too wrong, but just because of the kind of situation. Let me share my screen. Hopefully, yes, I'm going to share my screen. Sometimes because of the connection or something, it would be something effect. So let's say here, I go to join with her. Oh, this is another one. I open a lot, but no worries. I can get it right.
You can find the link in the chat as well.
I can direct you. I have these.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So we sharing together. I'm going to present on hers and help her to submit. Let's say I can open hers. Okay, now I ask her to show this part. Hopefully mine works. See, sometimes depends on your Wi-Fi. So here you can see we have a couple of steps for you only focus on something on each step. So if you did not finish the first step, you have no way to do the rest. So that's why I saw something wrong with hers because timely issue. Now I'm going to open up, you see, actually you can have some try later on. So here, because we utilized, as Dr. McCarthy shared in the presentation, this means a lot, machine learner. So what do we need to do? So you say you start an essay on trial by Sheldon. You can say, you don't say, you say on gateways, right? 2021, right? So you just reload it. It's on, amazingly. And also here you have something, we say this like the key, this like the value. So here you have a YouTube to present. You can change to yours, multimedia or caption, you say trial on tutorial. You see, run it again, you see this. Everything is vivid, actionable. I can run this because I already have laid out a button with a video. You can hear it. This is real. But you can find yours. Uh-oh.
5-second rule. I just cleaned the floor. It's probably fine, right? A lot of people swear by the 5 seconds.
So you can put it in the background. You can listen in music. You can do whatever.
Long enough to pick up
right?
Bacteria.
And
really
also
true?
you can shut it down.
Find out.
Too
We're going to
bothering.
need to do an experiment. It's time to science.
Thank you. See? So this is only the first step. We just show students start your preparation. Then this is done. You are going to carry out this thing down to the next step. So this already in the jar. You know what I mean in the jar, which means you have the code whatever stored there. And then you open another one. This is a beautiful thing. We only ask you to do the thing from the left side, but the display is carried down from the previous step. So we don't tell you messed up, right? We just add on little by little. At the last step, you can have the whole bunch of code to submit. Now you say, we start from here. You will say, so usually we ask you to make an essay, an essay on cardinal trial or whatever. So you will say, I want to change this to terrific. Right? Uh-oh. English is not my mother tongue. Terrific. Am I wrong? If wrong, it's okay. Terrific. Okay. You can run it right away. Okay, now the next. So everything is there, right? These are all active. See, you can play it. Now carry down to the next step. So on each step, the same idea, you always ask to input something. So for instance, this is an essay. I only ask them, you're going to pick up a couple of words to make an acronym, and you start a new paragraph. And then let's say here it's a trial. I say terrific, right? Terrific. Uh-oh, how come? My bad. See, terrific, how come? Oh, double R, okay. So you said terrific is awesome. To be in the status or something. You can say a lot of things. Now you start with the one paragraph, whatever you have there, run it. See, you got terrific. Then you can finish up the rest. You can choose. You can change a different word. Let's say today is a refresh. Say, Sheldon, this age present too long, lengthy. We need fresh. Okay, never mind. Now you say refresh means you are sick. Just kidding, right? Sick and tired. With Sheldon, we say no, 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 no. Just you are so tired. Okay, now you see, it is there. Refresh means, see? So when you finish, you can finish everything. Or you can finish at the last, but usually we ask you to focus on one step, then carry down to the next, to do the next. So usually here a little bit tricky, not exact tricky. This is the last step. Usually this indicates you can use this to submit, right? But here sometimes I still start, yeah, this is here. Sometimes this would be caused by something, but it's okay. So we have everything here. So you see the whole thing like here. Everything is testable. Sometimes we may have a little bit like this. Let me redo it. So this is very dynamic, also affected maybe by, hopefully this time it works. See, affected by timing thing, but still not laid out in the right way, but the code is there. You can run it. You say this is testing, okay, playable. Oh.
It was left in lockdown, blast shutters and all. We got to leave it wide open for recon.
You may say, why always the same? No, I just give you some default. You can do your work. Actually, we have code for you to fill in. See, you can fill in. Say this is the one you are going to play something accordingly. So, but our only thing is this multimedia. See, you can replace this. Just understand this, right? Okay, now I'm going to submit onto Clara's work. So I'm going to submit. Now I'm done. I got out of here. I made a copy for sure. Now here allows me to submit. Now I may disclose you something. You say, hey, it's a cheating one. No, final is nothing there. This usually we have default submission, right? They work from their own Google Drive. They submitted Word doc or whatever, they copy and paste. But here we are going to have the real code to submit from here. Boom, 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 looking for the keyword. This is on the last one to my knowledge. So you can close the eye. You want some more space. Then I usually teach my students use fast keys, Command A or Control A. then Command V or Control V, depends on what comes in. Already done, no worries. Boom, submit. Those pop-up just want to keep you posted because it's online thing already. Now you just need to swap. Let's say, number one, we have some fun. You can play to encourage you, right? Depends on you are going to theme it. And then final is here. This is real. I'm not cheating. See, it say refresh means you are sick and tired with Sheldon. I said, no, just you are so tired. Then this is also real too, but I did not replace much. So you can see this is real. So this kind of very vivid visual exercise, everybody supposed to be very interested in. And also they can see the things right away, right? So that's to my experience. My students, they can do the good job. And also they can submit their work also on Word. So this is one of the example I used. So you see, I teach them all the way with different, but never occupy our space, but from their own Google Drive. See, this is how beautiful, right? I said, this is for able. So it depends. So also this is one of the presentation I collected from my previous students. So you can say play. So we have different ways, different means for students to submit their work, but it all works. So in the way coding, or in the way just use them Google Doc, Google Drive, whatever kind of things. So that's pretty much today I want to share on the tutorial. So if some of you, I know a little hard sometimes, but you know, as I mentioned, 3 parties, you, me, and the computer. So we don't need to be shy. If you could follow with my instruction a little bit, I believe you can do the job. So if some of you would be interested in it, or I'm going to call out. Okay, let me see. So you can see this is something really there. So who wants to try a little bit? Maybe Dr. McCarthy, you just joined us, right? Would you please share your screen? Sure. I will guide you finish that. I think this is pretty much because it's in the recording. Maybe others, maybe afterward, they want to try something. So this sounds like a very simple build a website, but it's not there. A lot of things behind. Okay, now, yeah, go ahead. So you don't have nothing, right? Beautiful, I like it. Yes. So you click. Okay, now follow with my instruction. Go to the iTop. Yeah, you say go. So here is a default body for your account. Now you're going to import, maybe you're going to import a church. Let's try another thing. Do you see the church? Yes. So we have different purpose, a different thing for you to use. Yeah, you choose church, it's okay. A church is real, a lot of things there. So you see, now you are going to upload. Usually you can come in again to do some customization, right? So now you're going to upload, please. Okay. Yeah, this pop-up just shows you something working for you. Yes. Okay, now the same thing, close that pink. Okay, see, already there. Would you please close the pink pop-out? Yes. That's something, just sounds a warning. Nothing is too wrong. Because when you import something, there would be kind of key confliction. Okay, now, do you see this is a church? So you can click on the first public church. That's kind of, we say, AD show on the left side under your image. Do you see? Click on there, under your image. This is real, click. Yeah, this is going, because we are testing it. This is a kind of AD video.
Hey, FBJ, I am so excited to share with you
what
that
is the difference?
on the consultation of our medical advisory team, the leadership council, we're going to be regathering in person.
Sounds like, see, and also you can see we have Facebook or social media. Now, the right side, you are going to click on the disciples. That means a big folder. beneath there are some folders. Now, do you see the right side? This is a little strange, but old ones, but still works. Click on the right side. Yeah, see, scroll down. You see a bunch of modules, or we say something like that. You can open, actually, you can open something. Either one, you can open, try. The left side, this is blank, which means we haven't put it. The first one must be working. So this allows you to continue to work on. See, you can see this, we have a multiple tab, but in the way, this is for cell phone, actually. You can move, yeah, see, open one. See? So we have a lot of them laid out in the way. So when you finish, you just shut it down. So the same as well, this is very old, but the idea is still there. Okay, now you can close this. You can close your face to get out. So you already done this. So today we used Clara to show you the most recent ones based on the CIA triad framework. CIA means contextual, I means interactive, and A means accessible. That kind of triad framework with put focus on those things. Very brief, but you can explore in more depth or in more breadth. So this is very good, already proved to present, to organize, to archive, courseware, or even we have something, maybe if you have interest in it, I have another website re-archived from the Mueller Center at University of Virginia. They say presidential recording. So if you like, I can show you that. We have some time, right? Now, yeah, thank you. You can stop sharing now. I'm going to stop. I'm going to sharing this. Or by the way, do you have any questions for me now? If you don't, yeah, I can continue to share something. We have a bunch of good stuff. So that one is real. You can hear the president's recording. They have something to say you never heard. I believe that. I was amazed because I usually explore some beautiful websites, but I don't like the traditional way. That's why we renovated, but in the way like CIA. So now I'm going to share this and we can go from there. Okay, share this, you see. Now I'm going to open another one. You know, I open a lot. So this one is ycl.com, .us. We can stay within the same server, but also we have separate, depends how you use. ycl.net allows you to directly explore because we have some cross-serving. You know what I mean? So here, this is a little bit ugly. I know why. Okay, because we had some conflict. Now I go here. I go here because we did not update something. We had something happen. We say go US. But we have menu actually. See, this one is much better. See, usually you say this is for the president, right? Okay, let's go here. The same thing, universal interface, but some tiny differences. So those folders means multiple, how would I say, folders. So featured, so you can open each one of them, but this is another way, see? You don't need to go nowhere, but currently this one, a little background color thing, but we're supposed to put something like a background because something changed it, but it's okay. I can do it in my menu, but it's okay. Let's try this. So you can from here, so you have 5 of them, right? So you can go from the left side, like a straight link. We say presidential, boom, coming on. Or we say archiving. So it depends how you want to use it. You can have something like a traditional ways, or you can have some new. So here, this is about a program. We have president. So you can listen to their videos. This is real. This did not align very well, but it's okay. Because we adjust sometimes testing. But, so when you finish, so this is real. And also, you see, there may be some photo show with the music. This is him. So this means historical archive. So if you wanted to look at not automatically, so you want to check one by one, so you have the arrow to go one by one, or you want to be relaxing, so go ahead, point again, it's going to auto. Yeah, timely sometimes. So this is one president, but don't worry, all the presidents can be included according to their recording. So we have Eisenhower. This is him. And also you can click on here. If they have image or something to play, this is him. So very convenient. When we talk about the user-centric experience, you can see you stay in the context. You can explore. I'm not saying anything, but all the things we collected to support. Then you can listen to his audio or something. Right? And here, let me put this way. So when you finish, no worries, go the other one. Another student, another president brought in, right? And also we may find some video, whatever kind of you think that works. So open to play. This is not only video. I just want to say any multimedia, but this I use because I got this kind of historical thing, right? So let's go to Nixon. So this guy, this president has a lot of great stuff. So one of the things for Valentine's Day, he was talking with his daughter. Oh no. So this audio, no, this not. There's a video, so you can see if you have too many, you have some photo built on. So too many, so always you can open more and more. And now this is the one. See, so okay, so now you can individually go to him. Nixon, this is kind of tradition. This is gone. Sorry, it should be there because we did not maintain it much very well. So here you can see. Yeah, this is him. See, because we changed some path. So you can see the video. He was talking. Oh no, this is not. So he was talking with his daughter about a Valentine's meal or something. So a lot of things beneath. See, archiving. Yeah, this one is that one. I want brother. Yes. See. So we have a different way to organize. Also, if you like have some story to tell based on this, open this up. That's storytelling, right? So here, I know this is a lot for you to explore, and you can always come back. Then come back. So we have different modules to support in different ways. That's pretty much for this. By the way, do you have any questions about this? I know sometimes when you look at something, it sounds like too much, right? To follow it. But here, we just disclose you with, we call it aid to data. Data means digital archiving and transformed analytics. The first part, how you organize. It is very hard to organize very complex content, but we made it. But also the second part, we say digital archiving and transformed analytics. So this part, we put more intelligence by using machine learning automata. Then the inputs, the editing or user to use that, just like a piece of cake. I would say you put a key, then you can put the value, something like that. Actually, you can test it right away. You can try one by one. Let me show you one more thing, and I can stop there. This thing is very amazing, to be honest with you, to my understanding. Sometimes as a developer of this, I amaze myself a lot. It gives me a lot of joy. So anytime, if you are going to run something, let me just show you, get back. If you are going to run something, let's say, this is Mueller, no, so we go here. I go her. So usually, when you are going to test something, let's say you are going to test her work. You can directly run it right away. Let's say I load this way. We have some kind of mode to swap. See, this is editing. So you can run it right away. Say, let's say this is fine. See, so you can work from here. If I want to say with essay on trial on gateway 20, I say by so you can work on here. You say by on gateway, right? Yeah, sometimes just like the values you're going to put in, right?
Yeah,
somewhere.
Quickly.
This one terrific. I say TTTT. I don't want to see. You can see it works right away. See? And also you can change things. So this is kind of developing mode. Allow you to directly test to see what is there. Then you will be very happy to continue to work on. So you can test anything, not anything. But based on the word, you are going to do that. Let's say this is photo, or this is VV, this is video presentations, right? So you can change. See, you're going to play something.
Dr. Liang?
Yes?
Did Mr. Luis have a question? I couldn't tell. It seemed like he was trying to say something.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for. Yeah, I actually have a question to understand a little bit how you prepare the content and the difference between when you prepare the content and also when the user interacts with your content. When I see the last example that you did is basically, I think, part of creating the content. And what is the difference? I mean, who has the control? Because the link that you provide us, I think we are exploring only there. What is it? But we cannot interact because we don't have an account, I suppose.
This is
clarify that. I mean, how do you have the process of creating this interactive way to have all this content and provide the student access to that?
Okay, great. Thank you. Let me put it this way. This is as an experimental platform, usually used for my students. You know, our students, very hard for them to remember the password. So usually, if somebody in my class, I just make it public for them to access. But I could put a kind of security based on their built-on account and the password. This is number one. Number two, usually you can do instant development or with iTop. And with that, you can test it. But for our students, I give them assignment, I lay out a framework for them only. For instance, if you are going to submit a Google Doc, you only submit the link shareable. Then we can go from there. And also they can submit their work by editing their Google Doc. So we only present. This is one thing. If they want to do some real web development, usually they can go from scratch, like a traditional website. You can use HTML, JavaScript, whatever. But usually we don't encourage it that way because we already have a lot of, we say, kind of DNA-like ingredients. So you lay out a button, there's nothing too hard. Usually two pieces of things. Number one, your image. Number two, what do you want to play? Multimedia thing. So with that, a button is automatically laid out. That's why we claim universal interface does not mean you are going to design user interface. You are going to only to think a concept of what you want to present. So the interactive is right there. Usually, for instance, if you have an account, usually you're supposed to have a button that is going to verify your account, that allow you to do the development. Does it make sense to you? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Another question regarding the machine learning component that you have in your system. Machine learning has to do with some data that is trained and then using this model to predict something. How is being implemented internally? What do you predict with the machine learning component?
Okay, this is a beautiful question. If I wanted to go a little bit deeper, so we're supposed to understand something like with JSON, right? JSON means you organize data in a way, and then the client side can work on it. But we already advanced JSON to a JSON. A means actionable. So you just fill out a kind of form to form kind of pattern. So these patterns, we have a lot of ingredients or DNA-like. So that's mean you don't have to understand much. But usually when we lay out a kind of web section, so usually we automatically or manually will prepare some pattern for machine learning to process. So here, because we can figure out a lot of similarities, like a student profile or affected profile, all almost similar, right? So number one, we have an essential or generalized pattern, but with that, we can specialize. Like with object-oriented programming, we can derive. So with those kind of things, something may be manually, but very simple, but something may be automatically very easy. So with those patterns laid out, then accordingly, we give you a sample to fill in. Fill in a key and a value, and you can test it right away, just as I showed you from the last one. You click on the button, you will see what it does look, and everything works. Because behind, with the machine learning, we already lay out a lot of actionable on there. Because I used to be a compiler developer. I created the first in Asia ADA compiler. So with that, so we integrated a lot of idea into there. So machine learner is just like a piece of thing. So usually we lay out for you to follow, to input for normal users. But for more advanced developers, that's a different story. So we have something to disclose, how you organize. You can write your pattern or look for a pattern to support machine learning right away. Yeah.
So basically, you are using machine learning for structuring the web content, but not exactly what the students will learn in sequence, is that?
You're right, because this platform is going to offer universal interface and a user-centric experience, a new platform for courseware, but also it could support high-end needs, how you are going to learn to make some machine learning rulers, patterns for use. So this is flexible from very simple to very advanced. So we take care, let's say we already have some patterns support client-side programming or server-side programming. you don't need to put your code. Everything is automatically involved, integrated. So you're right, but because I'm teaching at the Liang College, but I still use this to teach data communication and networking. But also I teach some general education courses. So that's why I make it as simple as possible, only instant texting. But also, to be honest with you, this is very advanced platform that could be, we say, anything as a service. So this depends. But usually for our show, we put more focus on how to display. But that's also still a lot. Because to my knowledge, I used to live in Vancouver. I found a lot of small companies, they're struggling on UI design and the user experience design. And the core, they talk about content management service, CMS. So based on that, I got inspired. I said, why we bother? Because users very picky, tricky. If they're so used to it, they don't like it, or you know what I mean, or they so like it. So we make a way, machine learning automaton means you only need to input the same information. Your name, you have an ID, or usually based on, let's say, your email ID, your name, your something there. Only input that, everybody the same. But we can swap or change a little bit pattern to show in different ways. If we have time, I can show you, actually, this is something I teach data structures and algorithm. With the same input, the pattern swapping, you can see different appearance right away. So do you want me to share? Or maybe, yeah, I just tell you, that's something we say pattern is swappable, changeable. So you can see different appearance. So now we focus on universal interface and a user-centric experience. So there's still a lot, but also we have something in the backend. For instance, we have some server like .com, .us, they are in the back supporting your XSS. But this is something more advanced. We say a server cluster, right? So we have a lot of consideration to my understanding, because I used to be a real developer, a system analyst and architect. I used to work for the US Navy, to be honest with you, because of the needs. Nowadays, traditional website too hard to organize, very complex content. That's why I feel like my passion burned and consumed with my students. You know, our students, they're so used to tab. that is there. I'm so happy to see my students engaging with their study. Thank you.
Yeah, just one last thing. Your content will be like the graphical interface that you are using. It seems a little bit outdated compared with the modern interfaces, graphical interfaces, the buttons, the windowing system, all what you have for components. It seems a little bit outdated. I'm wondering if you have also the mobile-based graphical interfaces also for this tool.
Good question.
Do you?
Let me put it this way. Back then, when I started, I would say this is kind of invention work, which means I never got anything similar. So I started to think mobile is going to be everywhere in the future. So that's why I considering the ideal or concepts, universal interface, which means you don't need to do too much about user interface. User-centric experience, you don't need to go nowhere, stay there, you know, very easy. This came up, but I'm not an art, you know, designer. So I just put some concepts, ideas there. So something I know that does not look beautifully, but you know, the first thing, it works like a newborn baby, right? A baby does not look very neat, right? Pretty, but you know, we have the life to be born. Then now I'm more considering about we are going to use some more artistic design or something to build it. So you're right. Sometimes I say, don't get offended. I just say, for me, I just wanted to present some concepts in the application. Then we can pick on it, and we are going to do revision. And also based on the machine learning, you know what I mean? So you can call different things in the back end. So I don't think that's too hard, but we already separated your information, your data, separate from the machine learning automaton or patterns. So which means we can work around from the back end. Yeah, you hit the head on the nail, or you hit the nail on the head. Or, you know, sometimes I still a little confused. I just say this question is great, but you know what? Before this thing well accepted, to be honest with you, how we are going to make it very beautiful, but nobody interested in it. So that's why we take different priorities, prioritize the way. But I believe now it seems like we're going to put more consideration or focus on the beauty or easy to operate. But
Okay.
now
Yeah.
operate is very easy, relatively, yeah.
You know, when we talk about user interfaces, is being attracted to the
yeah, I understood. Yeah,
and
yeah,
be eager to interact with that.
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation and all the collaborators you have there. And with this, we will finish the tutorial today.
Okay.
And thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the conference if you are
Appreciate your
attending.
patience with us. We have some audience, very encouraging, right? And also maybe we give a title, seems like too much for a tutorial, but actually, we are on the ground. Very easy for everybody to try, right? So we learn something. We have a great team. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Thank you. So we expect to get some video, right? Recording, right? Or on the conference?
Yeah, the recording will be posted sometime after the conference. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you very much, Louis. And thank you, Shannon, right? Bradley. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
Have a good rest of your afternoon, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yes, for sure. Thank you. Yeah. See you
Bye-bye.
tomorrow. Yeah. Take care.